Hey everyone! Today I want to talk about drooping leaves on Monstera deliciosa or Swiss cheese plant. Well, there can be a number of reasons, but in this video I want to show you my biggest Monstera deliciosa that is a couple of years old, and it has grown into this big tree that takes half of the winter garden, I must say. However, after we moved into this new place, the leaves started to drop. They are wilted, as you can see. They are kind of, I don't know, very weak, and some leaves are also turning yellow. So there is definitely a problem. There can be several issues, to be honest, but look at the soil. You can see some sort of mold, or I don't even know what it is, but to me it looks like mold. It can also be salt from water, but definitely the soil doesn't look really good. So we need to fix it, but to fix it, we need to understand what's going on. And so many of you have sent me messages, written on also in the comments, that your Monstera has drooping leaves as well. Most probably it is connected to watering. However, you can see here that there is a definite issue with the soil as well. Even though the pot is ideal, it's not too big for such a huge plant. The pot is even smaller, to be honest, than I would like it to be. But look at the size of the plant. It's big. All the leaves are, yeah, looking pretty sad. So it's time to save it. Otherwise, we can risk losing the whole plant. Now, this Monstera albo is in a different pot. It's just standing next to it. So we are going to treat today only Monstera deliciosa. So let's talk about the pot. Well, first of all, it's a clay pot. It gets dry from all the sides. It's basically breathing from all the sides, and the soil gets dry quicker in this kind of pot. The soil that I have used is this kind of premium Hoya soil and Anthurium soil from Cybotanica. And if you would like to test this soil out, the link is also in the description with a discount. But I used this soil, and then, to be honest, instead of refreshing the soil, instead of repotting it, I decided, okay, let's just remove the soil, the old soil, and replace it with tomato soil because that's what I had at that moment. And I thought, okay, this is gonna be fine. Nothing significant is gonna happen. But that's exactly when the leaves started to turn yellow and wilt. So now what I'm gonna do to fix it, I'm going to replace the soil. And again, to repot the whole tree is very hard because it's very big. It needs 2, 3 people to do the whole job. But instead, I decided to try first to remove the same soil that I have added and replace it again. Basically, use the exact same soil that this plant was growing in before, and it was thriving. So another issue can be watering, of course. Even though I still continued to water the way I watered it, however, the soil was different. And while in this Hoya potting mix, the plant was kind of thriving, but it was thriving because the consistency of the soil is totally different. In that Hoya and Anthurium potting mix, there is bark, there is leca. It's very light and with warm castings, but also the most important is that it's very light and chunky soil. However, the tomato soil that I put here, again, that was a big mistake. So you need to make sure to also understand what plant you have and what type of soil you need to use. Of course, there is a reason why there are so many different varieties of soil and potting mixes, and you need to understand what goes for which plant. Otherwise, you will have most probably the same issue. So watering could have been a problem. However, if I still keep watering the way I was watering, the frequency and the amount of water, still with different types of soil, the plant would react in a different way. Because when I use this Hoya and Anthurium, very chunky soil, and I water, let's say 1 liter of water, just is just an example, the soil would get dry much easier and much faster because the soil is very chunky. However, if I use this tomato soil and I still use the same 1 liter of water with the same frequency and the same other conditions as well, still this soil will stay moist for a longer period of time. And this will also create an issue, what we have now. And I'm doing this with a shovel. Of course, it's a little bit complicated, and I need to also make sure that the sticks will not fall off because they are holding the massive stems and very heavy leaves. So I'm gonna just remove the top layer. Well, actually, not the top layer, but actually half of the pot needs to be replaced. I mean, the soil needs to be replaced because that's exactly what I did. I just uh, dug out as much as I could, and I poured, basically put a new fresh soil on top of it. And as you can see, it was a wrong idea. So let's speed up a little bit. What I'm gonna do, I already explained it to you. I'm gonna remove the soil and replace it with the fresh new soil from Hoya and Anthurium mix, and hopefully this will already fix the issue. I'm gonna also be very careful about watering, especially in the beginning. In terms of light, the plant is standing in our winter garden where we have a lot of bright indirect light, sometimes even a little bit of sun. And to be honest, this place should be ideal for Monstera deliciosa. I do believe that the problem is this tomato soil. Even when I pour this soil, you can see even the color of the soil is different. Well, it's also different because this Hoya mix is now a little bit moist, but I'm not gonna even maybe water too much, just a little bit. And I will not also press a lot, just so that the soil stays firm in a pot and so that the roots can also stick to the soil. But other than that, don't press too much. There won't be any issue if with watering, when you water, the soil will go down a little bit, and it will be totally fine for your plant. I would say if it's the right time, you can still save it if it's not too late. But if you see that the leaves are turning brown, turning black, then definitely you have root rot. And in this case, absolutely, you would have to take the whole pot, the whole plant out of the pot, cut the rotten roots, and then repot again in a fresh soil. And please always, whatever pot you use, make sure that they have big holes, big drainage holes at the bottom, because for Monstera deliciosa, this is a must. Normally, you would use pots with holes for all of your plants, but especially for Monstera, they will get rotten so easily if the pot in which they grow is not well drained and the roots stay in water for a long period of time. So, yes, that's how I'm gonna do it. I will also show you an update, or maybe I will write in a comment if the leaves recovered, because it can also be the case that the scorched, these wilted leaves will stay like this. They will not recover, but at least the new ones will grow better. However, I will post an update later to tell you if that's the case or they recovered. I hope that they will be able to recover because I already have massive big leaves with a lot of fenestration, and they just look amazing. If you will have any tips for me, please also let me know in the comments down below. Also, please write your questions. I will try to answer them and share my experience with you. And of course, if you like the video, share and subscribe and like, of course. I really want to show you the real experience, not only about plants that are growing and thriving all the time, but also about the mistakes and what we learn from it. Stay patient about plants, and I will see you in the next one.